2, 1. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing quite well. I'm elated that we're having this chat. We have loads to discuss. Let's start off with some introductions here for our audience. My name's Ruby, and I support artists any way that I can. And this podcast, this chat, is really here to bring people to the table to discuss art and all the different elements that go into art, its valuation, and its enjoyment. So, very happy to have you here on the show, Mr. Mays. Can you introduce yourself and just let us know who you are?
Okay, my name is Ely Mays, and I've been a professional painter for 40 years.
Tell us more about what you paint.
Well, I call myself a global contemporary painter. That's the label that I created. I've done extensive shows, countless exhibits. I can't even know where to begin.
Right.
I've met a lot of, I've transcended through a lot of genres. I've transcended through meeting a lot of artists, notable artists. I might as well not drop any names.
Right.
But I know them.
They're on your Wikipedia.
Well, and others.
And others. Right.
Some I just I leave them there in a time chest.
Right. Got it. And where in the world have you been?
Let's see. I've been all over, just about everywhere in most countries of South America. I've been most countries in Europe. I've never been to. I'm working on an exposition in Shanghai.
Yes.
I haven't been to the continent of Africa until they get their stuff right.
Isn't that the last continent to have collected? Or
Yeah, that's interesting because I even have a painting in Antarctica.
Fascinating.
In fact, I got 3 paintings in Antarctica,
Yeah.
but not Africa.
Interesting. More to discuss there, of course.
Huh?
More to discuss
Oh, yeah,
there.
big time, yeah.
Exactly.
Sure, yeah.
So with all of that, it's really good to, be exploring with words, your history and the topic of today's chat, which is about art theft. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Who steals art?
Well, art theft. Usually it's people who are they are obsessed. They want to control your soul.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You have what they call control freaks.
Right.
People who want to control you.
Yeah.
And it can go from many levels. Many levels. Jealousy.
Yep.
There's a lot of jealousy in the art world. And see, when you find somebody that has the passion, which I did in another video, you can't beat that person with the passion. Mm-hmm. And I don't care how much theft goes on with the theft, because in the art world there's a producer, there's a director, there's the actor, and that 4th element is the critic.
Okay. 4 things. 4 people involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you are passionate about what you're doing, you kind of eliminate a lot of that.
Right.
If I'm going to go out there and buy a simple canvas,
Right.
I once bought a canvas for $5 and sold the painting for like close to $6,000. Now, I'm the producer because I go out there and I buy it.
Right.
I'm the director because I'm putting the composition together with my hand. Mm-hmm. Then I'm the actor when I go out there and I sell it. I actually sell the painting.
Yeah, right.
And then you get the cheesy Weezies who become these critics who never painted a picture in their life, who were never in the arena. The arena means that I'm there. And see, now Hollywood, they've got that formula down pat. You know, the producer, the director, the actor, and then the actress. And well, and they cut me off on the editing block.
Sure.
Well, yeah, you let somebody else take your soul. You know.
Why do people steal art? Why do they do that?
There's a lot of insecurities amongst people. I mean, you know, in medicine, you know, which I studied.
You finished?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I finished. Yeah. And the thing about it, I never practiced, but you know, hey, you read these books about medical school and these things, and you see, damn, somebody thought these things out about the human condition, which is called you know, psychology of the human condition. And then if you are a medical doctor that prescribes psychiatrists, you know,
Sure.
That's why they say patience. Do you have the patience to listen to other people's problems?
Yeah.
And so forth. In the creativeness, you can internalize that, and people buy my thoughts.
Right.
And some people are really jealous of that. You know, when you you know, like, I don't have a what you call 9-to-5 job.
No.
I make my own.
You have a 25/8.
Yeah, I'm free.
Yeah, you are.
I'm free in that sense.
Very much. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You are. So, what are some personal anecdotes? What are some stories? Care to share?
Well, yeah, I give you one. I was going to get a big award from when I was in Guadalajara, and I was going to this small Mexican village. It was called the painting was called Bus Wars. It was at the Cabañas. It took the first prize in all of Mexico.
Because you lived there.
Yeah, 8 years, and I couldn't get the. I remember it was like a monsoon rain, and I couldn't get there on time. And when I finally found out where it was located, it was over. And I had my suit on and everything, and I was one of those artists that they were going to present, but I couldn't make it. It was a small little village that had a museum there, and then I took the bus back to Guadalajara, Mexico.
Right.
But I was soaking wet, you know, but I said, you know, well, the passion, you know, I was still in the arena.
Right. So, how did art theft factor into that?
Oh, well, art, you know, yeah, I've lost a lot of paintings, and
'Cause that's like lost opportunity, right? You not being able to make that.
Yeah,
happen.
that's a lost opportunity.
So that's a story that could tie into
Yeah, I could.
some other stories.
Yeah, it could. You know, the actual painting it still exists.
Where is it?
It's in Guadalajara. Well, I think it's near Ayahic, but it's in a secure place.
Yeah.
In a hacienda, that's like a ranch. But I haven't seen the painting in over 30 years.
Wow.
But it still exists. I got to get down there. I can't get it out of Mexico. I got a hefty price on it, and I got people that want to buy it, but the Mexican authorities won't let me get my own painting out of there. So,
What is one other story?
oh yeah, boy. I mean, I've had even now, you know, I kind of like. I don't deal with too many galleries. I had this gallery here in Paris, and you know, they don't want to pay the artist. So I made my own place a gallery. I mean, that's theft, but so they got to pay their rent.
Even where we are right now is
Exactly.
a gallery.
Yeah, well, I make galleries. I've made collectors out of people who never thought they could ever buy a piece of art.
Yeah.
And I call my places a gallery. You know, I don't really need the galleries because, see, at the end of the day, when the gallery has his key lock, he's kidnapped your work, and that's theft. That's theft in the sense, you know.
I'm on a mission to change that, and continuously listening to your stories. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think the value at the table needs to be pay the artist, right?
Yeah. Pay the artist.
Pay the artist.
Pay the artist.
C'est simple. It's simple.
Pay the artist. One of my mentors here in Paris, she was part of the French Resistance. Madame Bruno.
Yeah, Madame Bruno.
And she was part of that resistance that helped stop the Nazis from taking all the art to Berlin.
Yeah.
And the City des Arts was created from that. Now there's a good movie I've mentioned before about Frankenheimer called The Train.
Yes, The Train.
With Burt Lancaster.
Yeah.
1963.
It's not Fritz Lang. It's
No,
right? Yeah. Because there's that other Fritz Lang movie.
Yeah. But this you have a lot of French actors mixed in with American actors.
Yeah, most definitely.
So it's not that far removed from World War II.
Right.
But she was part of that resistance.
Wow.
And so the Nazis steal the art from the French. Then the Russians come and steal the art from the Germans.
Crazy.
For
Circle of love.
Exactly. So I've been there. Okay. Next question.
I mean, how has art theft affected your practice?
Well, you trust people. People always say, well, what they can do for it.
Right.
So you lend a piece out and you don't see it.
Yeah. Would you call that on consignment?
On consignment, or let's say,
what's it called?
Borrow on no return basis.
Right. Because one thing we're doing here, we're educating. So we're building that foundation for kind of who you talked about. Those people who never collected art before, intrinsically curious. So we're level setting with what all these terms are, right? So that when it comes to your stories, we can get there with you.
Well, yeah. I mean, if somebody wants to build a website with artists who lost art, there's a lot of stories behind that.
Right.
But
I can name a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at art as tangible. At my level, no.
Yeah.
At my level, it's another level.
Yeah, it is.
Like for example, the first painting I ever sold was 1972 or 71. It's $20, which was a lot of money in those days.
Yeah. What about the Afro one?
I did that in 1970. That was the last one, 1979.
1979, yes.
Sir Edward Williams. He bought the painting.
Nice.
And
I just mentioned that one, it comes to mind, but first sale 71, 72.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Richard Nixon was president.
Yeah.
My art teacher never gave me the money for the painting, and I'm a kid now.
Yeah, right.
Watercolor, she pocketed it, and she gave me F. The only F I ever got in high school was in art, and that crook, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
And then that kind of melts into other aspects of the art world, but it left kind of, when you don't know these emotions as a kid, it's like that was an introductory of my first piece stolen from me.
All right, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Are there any thoughts you want to leave us with about art theft and
yeah.
Also just as collectors, as art enthusiasts watching, and as artists, what are some takeaways or just some things
Okay, well,
you should keep in mind?
Living in the heart of Paris, you see the theft from, even Napoleon stole the obelisk. They didn't give him that. The headband of Montezuma is in Austria.
Yep.
It shouldn't be there. It should be in Mexico City. You see the French system, they stole a lot. And then they rebrand it but if you slow down the frequency, you see a lot. You just got to slow down the frequency. And then to the victor goes the spoils. And to the victor, they write the history. They rewrite it. A lot of places have been pillaged. And a lot of individuals have been pillaged. There's some of these artists who you think created that. No, their spouses created it. And some
Same
things,
goes for music.
Always. Film, music.
That's what we're covering here. We're covering that intersection of all the different mediums, right?
Oh, yeah.
With those 4 categories you
Oh,
gave
yeah.
earlier. Yeah, right.
Yeah, really.
It's just a big umbrella.
Yeah.
For when it rains. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want a new idea, look at an old book.
Right.
But then,
You're a big reader.
yeah.
Our family, big
Big-
readers,
big
big
readers.
writers.
One day I sat and I counted 400 books in my studio.
Stuff, yeah. Great books too.
And
Yeah.
I read French better. I can speak it.
You do.
But the thing about it, my French would be perfect if they bought my paintings.
Okay. What? Another question come out of this, like really bottom up here. So, how do you see technology playing a role in preventing art theft or in just bolstering your work and the security of it?
Well, some of the technology is kind of like McDonald's-ish.
What does that mean?
There's no foundation to it. There's just
What, it's cheap or it's
there's a lot of
what?
surface tension.
Okay.
Because they tell children, when you're reading something, you rest and develop.
Right.
Like for example, you're reading a book, and then the little kids, when I was coming up,
Yeah.
after 20 pages, the teacher will show you the picture of the bunny rabbit going down the street. To rest and develop.
Right.
And there's no turning off of the. But see, the thing about it is, those people who can read and write and even paint,
Right.
there's a true renaissance coming back.
Yeah.
And a robot doesn't have a soul. I don't care what they talk about AI, it still doesn't have a soul. Somebody programs it.
True. Who do you want to see programming these things?
Well, the thing about it is, I think we've gone down this path before. I think that nothing is new under the sun. I think we've had civilizations on top of civilizations, and then it comes to a boiling point.
Yeah.
The planet itself is not going anywhere. I think the human condition is going somewhere, but the planet will be here long after we're gone.
And with that, if you out there in the audience have any questions here for Mr. Ely Mays, any questions for how myself and a growing team are working to educate, refine, and innovate in this space, especially around just the integrity of art and artists' work and legacy, please reach out. My DMs are open, messages are open, emails open, and on future shows we can do a live Q&A to answer your most pressing questions. With that, that's all the time we have today. More time ahead, Mr. Mays, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.